Welcome to the All About You podcast. My name is Sheila and I am your host. In this podcast, I invite people to tell their stories of their travels, hobbies, and passions. These podcasts are also now available on my All About You YouTube channel. So if you have a story to tell, please contact me on allaboutyoupodcast@yahoo.com and let's tell your story. Welcome to another conversation on the All About You podcast. And today my guest is Daniela, and we are talking about tarot. Daniela, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Shayla. Thank you for the invitation.
You are very welcome, and I'm so interested in this tarot. I know nothing about it, so I'm going to be educated. So let's start at the beginning, Daniela. What is tarot?
Well, there is a lot of tools for talk about feelings and talk about astrology and talk about all the things that you can feel and you don't know. To have a tool to talk about what is happening, to advise you, to know you better. It's a tool. It's difficult to define, I think, because it's a tool that was invented in Egypt. If you wanted to talk about the story, but anyway, through the years, I think tarot has becoming a tool for people that is moving their voices to talk about what is inside.
How did you become interested in tarot?
Well, my grandmother, she was a tarotist, so for me it was always something that I knew that is going to happen in me. For a long time, I thought that I was not ready, and someday everything in my life started to change, and in that moment, I feel that I want to connect with the tool, with the tarot cards. So I saw a tarot, and it was a different draws because there's a normal draw because there is different creators. So one creator is Rider White, and he's the creator of some kind of tarot and draws too. So I saw another one, but it's based on Rider White's tarot, and it was like I really like that draws because I'm a very visual person. So I get connected and I buy it because they say they need to you need to have your first tarot as a gift. But for me, it was my gift, like just for me, and I started to connect with the cards. So in that moment, I decided that I was getting into knowing more about the magic on the tarot.
So really then you grew up with your grandmother using tarot cards. It was in your life for a very young age.
She was living in another city of the same country, and yeah, and they say my mother told me that my grandmother reading the cards on the main square on that city in this Arica in Chile. So she was reading there to the people around, and she didn't study because the thing is that you can connect even if you are haven't studied the tool. So she read the cards, so I just know it that story, and it was for me. Oh, my grandmother was some kind of a witch or something.
With tarot cards, each tarot card has got a picture and that picture has a meaning. Is that right?
It's yeah, but also it's a story. It's the story of the fool. That's the first card. So it's the story and how the fool is going through every situations, important situations, like but structures too, like the mother, the father, the institution, his own fears, he has his own brave. So he's deciding a way through the car, and then at the end, it becomes the world that is the final card where the travel is done because you understand everything. But it's a cycle, you know. It's like you're not doing just one full travel in your life. You are doing a lot, and again and again, and all the time proving your force, your brave, your skills. So that's Tarot about.
The cards are basically telling the story of somebody's journey through life.
Yeah.
Do the cards tell the story of their past as well as the future?
Of course, you will talk about the past because you will connect with your father, with your mother. That is your roots. So I think is that, and also you have the moon, that it's a card that connects you with your female ancestors. So yeah, you are like talking all the time with everything in the person, with the past and the future, because normally you think that tarot will be to read the future. It's like, I will get married, I don't know, I will have this child, I don't know, some kind of questions. But it's not. I think a good tarot is someone that can give you a perspective of a thing that you are asking. If it's an advice, you can see another things that you can't see because you are blind sometimes.
When people have a tarot reading, do they generally want answers to particular questions? Come for a general reading?
There is two kind of people, I think. Someone are in a problem in that moment, and they ask me for a specific thing. It's like, I have problems on my job. So, okay, in Tarot, you can see what is happening there, what is thinking some boss, what are you feeling, what they feel about you. So you can see a lot of like a prism. You can see a lot of perspective. And there's another kind of person that is more like, I don't know, I want to feel what is going to happen, I don't know, this year. So you can try to help the person to see different spaces like love, work, money.
My understanding now is people can either come to you for a general reading or answers to a particular question, and maybe you can give them guidance or information that will help them to make that decision. If you see cards that are maybe a little bit negative, I don't know, are there certain cards that when you turn over the cards, you sort of think, oh, this is going to be tricky? Are there cards in the pack that will show negative or unpleasant things are going to happen?
All the cards, as everything in life, has a positive and negative way to see it. The thing is that when you have a negative result, is in the voice of the tarotist what to say. Because if you ask this relationship, it will be over, and I see the tower, so probably yes, it will be over. But what is over? What is to finish something? To finish something is to start something new. So sometimes you see a negative result maybe, but everything has the opposite. If it's negative, you will be the positive thing of that. So you will try to advise, yeah, and I can say, if I see the tower, yeah, it will be a big break, but try to feel that after that it will came the sun. And I saw the card. I have the cards here too. To inspire me, and I try to show the card to the person and see that it's almost the tower like falling people around. Also is a way that it's some water inside, like positive things that you can always see in the negative moments or in the problems.
I think that's very reassuring, because they always say, sort of as one door closes, another one opens. So at that moment, you could see a relationship, okay, that relationship is going to end. However, it could be that relationship is not right for you. And if that finishes, then it leaves you open to meet that right person. So
Exactly.
I imagine that's the thing, isn't it? So yes, a bit of a shock. This relationship is going to end, but something is better is coming. So we have to have closure on one thing before we've got the space and time to allow something else.
Yeah, they say for a new thing, you need to create a space. And if you're full, you cannot create space. So anytime that tarot is showing the tower, the death, that is also a very complicated card. And people see, oh no, it's a death. It's like, I will die. Like, no, a death is transforming you. So be happy for transforming, because nothing in life can be like only one thing.
The only certain thing in life is change, and that's very true. I can certainly understand how people could get comfort from having a tarot reading, because maybe you've got this going round in your mind, should I change my job, or should I change and move to another city? Nobody can see into the future, but maybe having that bit of guidance that's saying, take the risk, it will be okay. So I can certainly understand why tarot is very, very popular. Daniela, can you talk about some of the experiences you've had with tarot readings?
I will say two things about that. For me, it's an experience all the time. Get connected with the cards. I'm all the time like a week advice. For example, I have here this tarot card that is very beautiful. It's in Peter, and for me, it's like, okay, I need to be in that kind of energy in this week. So all the time I'm trying to feel what is tarot saying to me in everything. It's like symbols, and because I understand the tool, but also I feel connected with some kind of language. So like a universal language, because you feel when you are talking that you are right, because you need to feel things in positive. I don't know, for example. But anyway, that's my own transforming part. In the other way, I will say the experience of talking with people, and so many times I don't know too much the person that is in my table. I don't know. It's like some friend of a friend. So sometimes it's very crazy to get connected and say things that has sense for the people. So in that way, I will say that is always I need to be very responsive with what I am saying, because sometimes I'm like just feeling and saying and saying and talking and talking and talking, and I'm talking about a life or a problem or a specific an intimate thing of the person, and people is getting open when you start to read, and they feel connected. They are started to open, and then it's a crazy experience when they talk to you the next day. It's like, you remember that problem, it's solved, as you said, or I don't know, remember you said that I will meet a guy, I don't know, I met the guy. Sometimes like this, it's always happening. It's fun, but also it's very magic.
For you, Daniela, it must take an awful lot of energy, sort of physical and mental energy for you to do a reading.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think for people that read all day, it will be oh my God, I don't know how to do that. I think for me, 2 or 3 readings in a day, a normal day that I don't have nothing else to do, is a lot, because you give too much, you feel too much. Even if you do online, that the energy is through, because you can do. I believe in online things, because if you are connected, you're thinking in me, I'm thinking in you, we are connected. So yeah, you give a lot, you feel the people. I have seen people crying, I have seen people impressed, taking important decision because of the cards. So yeah, it's a lot of responsibility.
We've all had situations in our life where we've had to make a very, very important decision, and we've been thinking about the decision. We've spoken to our family, our friends, our partners about, the pros and cons. Should I do this? Should I do that? What should I do? But I think that there's some kind of magic behind, and I don't mean that in a negative sense, but I think it's somebody who doesn't know you can often see a situation a lot clearer than you or your family or your nearest and dearest, who are invested in your best interests, but sometimes the decision needs somebody from outside who maybe can look at it a bit clearer. And I think someone like you, who you are looking at the evidence presented in front, i.e., the cards, and you are interpreting that information. They've got no vested interest, that you're not going to be the person they're going to be living with or working with, etc. So you just work with what you see in front of you. For a lot of people, that must be really, really helpful.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you go to a tarotist, you put your heart in exposition to the person. The magic thing about this is that tarot will tell you what you actually know. Because that's the thing, when you are reading and you're asking, this person is thinking in me, this person is thinking in you in this moment. Because when you feel, or when I say someone will help you, and you say my mother, my father, my I don't know, you are starting to see someone, and it's that the first person that you think it is all the time. And people get like, the coincidence is very, very, very big sometimes, because the most you are connected, the most you are open, the tarot will tell you what you want to hear. Actually, they will not. If you go to the tarot, and the tarotist says something like, if someone will die, that tarotist, for me, is like a person that is, I don't know, hurting, because you can't say that. For me, it's like you will not say that kind of things, because people get conditioned. It's like, yeah, someone will die, will die, will die, and it will think, and it will walk through that. So for me, it's very important to see, to feel the things, but also to say the words that will help, not that the words that will cut the decisions that you will take.
When people come to you for a reading, Daniela, what is the process? They would book an appointment with you, and do you ask them, do you just want a general reading, or is there a particular worry you've got, or a question you want answers to? Can you talk us through, like, what a session with you would comprise of?
First is to get an appointment, because I need to have the time. I cannot read like drinking a bottle. I cannot read, I don't know, if I feel sad, If I feel, I don't know, confused, if I'm stressed, it's difficult. An appointment or a session, it will be for me 1 hour. Sometimes it's more. I think many times it's a little more than 1 hour. I will take two tarots because I have like around, not too much, but I don't know, 5 or 6 tarots. I will take two what I feel before, because I try to get connected before. In that cards, I will, for any question of the person, I start to read, how are you? It's like the first question that I do to the tarot. How is that person? So we see in the tarot, the person can say, yeah, I'm like that. I'm like feeling a little stress. And you will see some things just to get the first conversation to go to the important question that the people probably have. So next, they say, okay, I will ask for love. So I'm having a problem with my partner, I don't know, and we started to see each part. We will see what it's about in the cards. Then we can see what is that people, what is feeling my boyfriend, I don't know. What do you feel? Yeah, you can see what is the people feeling, because sometimes you don't know what to feel. So tarot will help you to say, what do you feel sometimes? And after, and at the end, an advice. And then we go to the work, to the health. Normally, I don't read too much health because I'm not a doctor. When I studied that, my teacher says we are not doctors, so we cannot decide, yeah, you need to go to see your heart. Yeah, but sometimes people ask, even if they know that I'm not a doctor, and some cards are connected with health, are connected with some kind of with the body. So sometimes you can see something, but for me it's a little confusing to talk about that because it's a lot of information. So I prefer to talk about feelings and decisions and advices in general.
Daniela, when people come to you, can they record the session? Because I imagine a lot of information is coming to you, and trying to remember everything in an hour session is probably impossible. So do people generally record it on their mobile phones now?
In general, not. I think people prefer to get some notes. And yeah, and at this time I haven't record the session because it's some kind of experience. So in the moment you feel connection, you feel a lot of things. So yeah, normally people, for me, they haven't record yet.
Okay, so they will obviously make a few notes when they're in the
Yeah.
session with you. Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes I give them a task to do. Create a list of what do you want and what do you feel, and get visualize I don't know, the your dream.
People can generally get some guidance from you. As you say, they may have a bit of an action plan to sort of write out what they want to accomplish or what they want to do to complete a goal.
Yeah.
So people are actually going away being a little bit clearer in their mind. They've maybe got a few pointers or some answers to something that they came to you for, but they've also leave with a little bit of homework sometimes to help them continue that journey.
Yes, it's something that I feel because I do the homework in that I'm always try to have some kind of ritual, because to I don't know, to get abundance, to get, I don't know, something that I feel that is missing in this moment in my life. Actually, I think it's the act of pray, but I don't believe in one kind of God. I believe in energy. I believe in God as something like huge, more than a Catholic way. And I believe in faith. I believe in prayer, because it's the way that you put your intention in that. Always you put intention, you put the constant intention in something, you will make it. You will get what you really, really want. So I think I believe in the power of yourself to create your reality.
I mean, that is absolutely true, isn't it? I mean, we can't all sit back and expect things to come to us. We need to sort of get the ball rolling. Yes, we're going to have help along the way, but we need to sort of think, okay, what is it I want to do? What do I want to achieve? And sort of have a bit of an action plan. Daniela, can I just say to you, when I was talking to some people about tarot, you get some interesting reactions. Some people are, oh, yes, I've no idea. I haven't had a tarot reading, but yeah, I want to know all about it. Other people are like, no, don't want anything to do with it because they're just going to tell me I've got 6 months to live. Other people are, no, it's complete hocus pocus and they're all just out there to take money. It generally, you just say the word tarot, you get a very strong reaction, positive and negative. Can we just talk about people's perception of tarot?
I think in this kind of area, like astrology, tarot, and a lot more, you always find people that is curious about, people that have tried everything, and people that doesn't believe. Actually, my boyfriend, he doesn't believe, but we started to connect even for the tarot, because I was her friend, and he was in a problem, and we saw the cards, and he says, how can you know that? How can you feel that? It's like all the things that you're saying, there are. It's like, because the tarot is talking to you through me, through my voice, but it's talking to you. So anytime that I have a people that doesn't believe, something's like blowing their minds all the time, all the time.
This is the interesting thing, isn't it? There's always going to be people, as you say, do not believe in astrology, law of attraction, manifestation, tarot. The list goes on and on and on. If it doesn't float your boat, that's absolutely fine. Just leave the rest of us to do it in peace, sort of thing. But that's amazing when you say that I am just basically the voice of relaying the information that the cards are giving me. I mean,
Yeah.
you are basically, the person who is interpreting the information and putting it into some kind of coherent message for the person
Yeah.
who needs that information.
Yeah, I think you are like a channel
Yeah.
sometimes. You are like a channel of what universe want to talk about with you. Because sometimes I like very inspiring talking, and I'm just feeling and feeling and feeling, and at the end of what I'm saying, there's someone in the other side is like, all the things that you are saying are what I needed to hear. So yeah, the information is on the cards, because I believe that if you study, you will learn more about symbols. But it's a study of never-ending study on these things, because I don't know, this tarot has nature, animals, planets, I don't know, elements, and everything is something. So you will see a cat. What is a cat? Cat is intuition. Is maybe what you don't want to see. Maybe it's something that is always with you, but I don't know, symbols, it's like the more you are connected with symbols, the more the tarot will talk.
if people are listening to this and thinking, okay, well, yeah, I understand what Daniela's saying and been very honest about the fact that she is a person channeling information that is there. If people want to have a tarot reading, you can do them. You are based in Valencia, where I am, so people can visit you in person. Can you also do tarot readings online? I mean, we're using Skype for this, so you can do them anywhere in the world.
Yeah, anywhere. I prefer, of course, always video. But anyway, sometimes there are people that is asking just, I don't know, audio. They send me an audio, Daniela, could you please see some kind of a friend, it's like people that normally get some answer. Danny, could you please see what is happening with this guy? And I take 3 cards and I see. So yeah, all the time, because when I'm with you, when I am with the people the person that is having the questions, I'm thinking in you to take the cards. The good reason to say that I am some kind of a channel, because sometimes if I ask something and I'm thinking in another thing, the tarot will will give me a wrong answer, because I will think in another thing. So I really need to be like meditating something, it's like connected with what I am asking and not thinking in nothing else. It's like meditate. It's like to be in the present, to be in that moment. So it's everything powers something. It's like I cannot think in my, I don't know, my problems while I am taking a car. That will not work. That will not match.
I can really see how physically and mentally draining it can be on you. When you say you can do 3 and 4 readings a day, I was astonished. I thought you would say 1, maybe 2 at the most, because when you are interpreting information for people, and it can be incredibly personal about relationships, or they've got worries about various things, it's quite an intimate process.
Sí.
I can see for you, and also for the person you're doing the reading for, but it's quite a session of trust. You have to trust each other.
Yeah.
And you have to be honest. I mean, there's no point having a tarot reading with you and I'm not going to give you the truth or answer your questions honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a kind of therapy, but the thing is that now that I've been reading for, I don't know, 3 years, I feel that it's a therapy for the other person, because at the end I will give you some homework or some tools to help you in the next decisions, or in the thing that you need. So in that way you transform. So many people, so many therapists use the tarot to see more. So after that you will take, I don't know, back flowers, or something that they will give you, or energetic therapy. For me in this moment is like I will listen to you, we will see what is happening in the tarot, and then after you will have something for prove all the problems that you are seeing before. So yeah, it's a kind of therapy.
I mean, this is such a fascinating conversation, Daniela. I mean, this is just amazing. If people want to get in touch with you, whether they want a meeting with you, a reading face-to-face in Valencia, or whether online around the world, we will put all the links to you and to your social medias. Daniela, is there anything you want to end the podcast with, talking about tarot, and any information or advice to people?
Thank you so much for the conversation. For me, it's very interesting, because normally I talk about another projects that I have, But to talk about the tarot for me, it's something sensitive. It's something that I feel inside me. So thank you for the opportunity, and everyone is welcome to contact me and just maybe to feel to say to the people that if you have a problem, you have doubt, you have something that you can see clearly, always try to hear your own voice. Yeah, to sit down, to close your eyes and breathe and wait a little bit more, a little bit more, and you will have the answer. You don't need nobody that will tell you the answer that you know inside you. So for me, it's that tarot is just a helper, but always the answer is inside you.
I think that's the title of the podcast. The answer is inside you. Daniela, thank you so much for your time. Fascinating, fascinating.
Thanks to you.
Oh, thanks, Daniela.
I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Please subscribe on whatever platform you are using. It is free, and if you would like to tell your story, please contact me on allaboutyoupodcast@yahoo.com and let's tell your story.